Yeah, it's I mean any sport, even Bledisloe Cups, is always big events. I guess in my career, 2015, obviously had an awesome match against Eden at Eden Park, and then the final, and then we had a T20 World Cup final a couple of years ago. So it always seems like there's great contests. And, even on a personal note as well, we know a lot of the New Zealand guys, played a lot against them and with them, so it's always good fun.
Is Travis Head available for the game, and Marcus Stoinis for that matter?
Don't know, to be honest. They'll have a training session after this. Trav they both trained on game day a couple of days ago, so we'll see in the next few hours.
I'm not sure if you followed in the news in Australia over the last day or two, but Greg Chappell's fallen some hard times. He's had a bit of a testimonial. I know he's played a bit of a role in your career. Have you followed that at all, and what are your thoughts about that?
I haven't really. I heard one of the boys talking about it the other day. But yeah, he's a legend of the game. He's not only just as a player, he's been huge. Particularly our playing group, he's had a big influence on a lot of us coming through. He's did an under-19s tour where he was there and kind of mentoring, and spent a lot of time up at the NCC where he was involved. So got huge admiration for him. Obviously, huge figure in Australian cricket. So wish him all the best.
Pat, it's obviously a lovely ground, except maybe when you've got to bend down and field on it. Do you have any concerns at all about the outfield and how will the team approach preparing for that?
Just walked across there now, so that was the first look at it. So, that's probably a ground where you've got to be extra careful. It's a bit different to a lot of the other venues that we play at, but it's fine. It's the same for both teams. So, maybe just be a little bit more careful out in the field. Might have to wear a couple on the body, but that's fine.
Just 11 days ago, you guys were at the bottom of the table, but I guess that's just the nature of these tournaments. You're not in the semi-finals, but sort of in there, let's face it.
I'll take it, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
If I say, So, everybody speaks about vibe and all of that, but just the nature of your last two victories, regardless of who you're playing against, does that add to that feeling of now we finally arrived in this tournament in that sense?
Yeah, for sure. Our group's big on talking about the style that we want to play, and I think in the first two games, not only did we, not win, but I think we didn't really nail the style that we wanted to play. I think in the last few games, you've seen us be a bit more aggressive, batting and bowling. Bowling, everyone's been really open-minded, tried different things, trying bounces, different fields, one over spells. And it's just been a real buy-in from the whole team, and it's been fantastic the last few games. So it's that's a standard we want to keep going for the rest of the tournament.
And with your own bowling part, you said earlier in the tournament that one-day cricket, you haven't played a lot of it regularly in the last few years, but getting a feel for it every game you play. Just the 4 or 5 overs you bowl against Netherlands, the carry you were getting, I know it's dependent on the surface as well. Does that put you in a better place of mind in that sense? And just in terms of economy rates, something you asked, or you guys really asked circumstances, but have you reached the point where you don't really pay much heed to it?
I've been really happy with how I've been bowling. I feel like I've probably been bowling the best I have for a little while in ODI cricket. So, and in terms of economy rates, we're really role specific. So Joshy Hazelwood's going to look different to me, or to Starkey, to Adam Zampa, or it's just about having your role and trying to own that. So for example, we could try and be really safe through the middle, but we're not going to take wickets. Well, they're probably going to score runs at the back end. So we're always all about wickets at the start and the middle, and happy to give up a few runs, in search of that.
Hey Pat, you've played a lot of cricket with Mitchell Starc, and he's on an incredible streak at the minute. He's taken a wicket in every Worldcup match he's played, which is a record. What do you think makes him so successful or so effective in Worldcup matches?
I think in 50 over cricket, there's the new ball, the middle phase, and the last phase, and it's pretty hard to nail all three. But I think he's one of the rare bowlers that swings it up front, but you can basically give him the ball at any time, and you feel like he's going to create something. And again, I think he's just keeps getting better and better. He's wobbling the ball across right-handers. He's bowling round the wicket probably more than he did in say 2015. He's got plenty of tools at his disposal. And, it's pretty amazing to just be able to keep up the pace for that long as well.
And then outfield aside, where does this ground rank in terms of the most picturesque?
Yeah, it's right up there. Yeah, you think of Cape Town. This one's probably, just beautiful. As you saw, as soon as we got off the bus, everyone goes right out the front, gets their phone out, starts taking photos. You just got to do it when you're here. So it's beautiful. Beautiful, clean air. Looking up at snow-capped mountains is great.
I just wanted to ask about the kind of roller coaster of Glenn Maxwell, like the Golden Duck against Pakistan, and then the other night, have you kind of been in a partnership like that before? I think you made 8 out of 100 and something. And
don't need to focus on that, man. 100 partnership.
Yeah, it's supported it well. But what's that like to watch? And then how important is he, having fire for the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, that was just insane the other night. Max has got that in him. And he just, with that kind of play, they're not going to do that every game, but he does it often enough to be worried every time he walks out there if you're the opposition. So I was lucky to be down the other end, see it firsthand. Just the creativity that he seems to have to find boundaries in just different spots. Just incredible. He said to me with 3 or 4 overs left, he goes, I just want to face many balls here and own these last 4 overs. And he did it. So just insane. And, I thought his bowling this tournament has been fantastic so far. And as we saw the other night, he's superstar.
Pat, we're having a day game after a long time of day-night cricket. Your thoughts on that, and how does that change your permutation combinations and planning going into it?
Yeah, it feels a bit more like a test match, getting up in the morning and turning up here. A little bit different to what we used to. We'll have a bit of a think this afternoon to see if that changes anything to do with, say, the toss or obviously at light, maybe dew, maybe swing under lights is a bit of a factor you think about. So, I would think.
Pat, just further to Bharat's questions, you're still a fairly young ODI captain, but you talk about role-specific roles for the bowlers. Does that require you to tell yourself to hold your nerve when a guy's gone for 25 or 30 on 2 overs and it's the plan, but it's looking pretty ugly?
You've got to, it's all a balance. I mean, luckily in our team we've got plenty of options, so it always feels like you can bounce between plans a lot. It does feel like a real luxury, but you've got to kind of know when to cut your losses as well. There are times where you can't create anything out of thin air. The ball's not doing too much. You're bowling cross seams. It's a good wicket, so there are times where you just feel like you need to hang on and change plans.
Pat, just on Josh, about 3 or 4 years ago, bowlers like him who were just so consistent were, not getting picked because they were quote unquote too predictable. Now that he and some other bowlers like him who can just bowl line and length have made such a quick comeback, what kind of luxury does he provide you as a bowling unit when you know that this guy is not going to go for more than 50 in game?
He's been consistent his whole career. He's been a gun. So I don't think him being predictable has ever been a problem. He's I think even in some of those times when he wasn't in the team, he was number 1 or 2 in the world. So he's fantastic. He's another one who I think now can bowl at any time. But you're going to get quality up front, and as you said, consistent. Just rarely gets hit off his leg, and just again another real luxury having someone like him in the team.
So just to continue on the rivalry with New Zealand, if you look at other cricket rivalries, India, Pakistan, or even yourself in England, there's a bit of nastiness, there's a bit of there's a lot of acrimony between teams, but not with New Zealand. How does that work out? I mean, would you would you rather it be more competitive? As in, if it was a little nasty, would it get you going more than it does?
I don't think so. I think most of the Kiwis are pretty placid, and we're pretty similar. As I said, we've played a lot of cricket with these guys, and some of them are really good mates of some of our players. So yeah, we if anything, makes you want to beat your mates even more. But yeah, it'll be intense out there.
Pat, this Dharamshala track hasn't been the easiest in terms of batting, and especially coming from that early game. What's your approach in terms of handling the track? Because there's a sand out, slow bowlers are doing really well. And apart from that England game where they scored over 300, every other score has been about 250 to 60. So what's your approach in terms of the track here, especially coming from that early game?
Yeah, it's a new venue. You've got to assess when you're out there what you think is going to be a good score. So it might not be a 400 run game or innings, but yeah, it's just we talk a lot about playing what's in front of you, assess the conditions, and as a batter you build your innings around that. As a bowler we assess what's going to work, whether it's cutters, swing. So new venue, we'll just make sure we're looking at it closely.
Pat, just about when Travis Head does come back in, Steve Smith spoke to us the other day and he said, about batting at number 4, he would prefer number 3, that's his position. What has that chat been like, and how many times have you had to have that chat with him to sort of convince him to go down once?
I think he said himself, do whatever's best for the team, and Travis been amazing over the last 12 months. Mitch Marsh at the top's been amazing. David Warner's, obviously a superstar over there. So, we think that's the best way to set up the team, and we're really excited with how the batting lineup looks like that. So, no, it's been fun. We all do some roles that maybe you're not your preference, but it's what's best for the team. So it's fun.
Pat, you mentioned close friends in other teams. Imagine you would have been heartbroken to see England suffer last night. What was your reaction to that, given you've got them in a couple of games' time? Obviously got them in a couple of games' time, so we'll have a close look there. But it's sad to see. Don't have much for it.
Has the margin of victory and defeat in this World Cup surprised you at all? Like when teams are winning, they're winning real big, and when they're losing, they're losing quite badly. Have you managed to kind of pinpoint on why this is so?
I think a lot of the time you speak about chasing down whatever the opposition puts up. I think this tournament, the trend for most of the teams has been you put a big score on the board, and then as you're searching for run rate, you fall well short. So I don't know. It has been surprising. There haven't been too many super close, right down to the wire games, but yeah.